Hey everyone, Bipolar Dude here, and today I'm going to be talking about why objectification is pretty chill. So let's just get this out of the way first. Men objectify men. Men objectify women. Women objectify men. Men objectify men. Women objectify women. That's just, everybody does it. So this isn't a gender thing. It's just something that happens, and let's talk about it. So, I don't think people should be as offended by being objectified as they are. Let's see, the stereotypical objectification of women is their looks. Men see a hot, attractive woman and like, damn, I wanna fuck her. Or they're like, just, that's all they see. They're just like, she's hot, that's, what I want. When women objectify men, the stereotypical one is just, oh my god, he makes a whole lot of money. Instantly, that's what matters. And they go for that. There's multiple other things you can objectify someone. There's multiple ways you can objectify someone. You can say, it's their looks, their money. Maybe you can objectify someone by just saying they're like my emotional therapist. I talk to them because, they give me emotional support. This is the yada yada yada. Basically what it boils down to is when you objectify someone, this is one way you can look at it. Because the whole point is just seeing them as an object, seeing them as not a person. And you are doing that because you see something of value that they have, which has nothing to do with their humanity, and you're saying, I want that. That's basically all it is. And that's not something that we as a society should necessarily say is inherently bad. The reason it becomes a problem, or why it can become a problem, is when you see something of value that you want in someone and you think you're entitled to it, or you don't respect that person's right to deny you of that, or say, I don't need to give you this thing about me that I want. I don't need to service you just because you want this thing. That's where it gets into a problem. So like, if a guy is, sees a woman and is just like, yo, she's so hot, what's up, blah 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 blah, if that's not received well, if that person doesn't immediately want to give them that person, then it's, can kind of be seen as offensive, which on one hand, it makes complete sense. Like, if you see someone that you don't know and you're like, it already feels like they want something from you that they didn't earn or that you just don't want to give, and no one likes to feel like, well, but see, that's the thing, is I don't necessarily think that that should be offensive. It should be, people should respect boundaries, for sure. And that's a thing. I don't think you should go up to someone with that approach. Like, look, I know you are super hot, that's why I'm talking to you. Or, I know that you make a lot of money, so that's why I'm talking to you. Because the reason that's offensive is because the person receiving that is like, well, I'm not an object. I don't want to be approached in a way where it's like, already I'm being asked to give you something. I'm being, and that's basically like it. But to say that objectification overall is bad, I think is a little naive. I also think that if it can also feel like you're entitled to something deeper from people that, like, just isn't realistic, or let's say, isn't inherent in the human experience. Like, you don't have a right to people's, caring about you as a person. You don't have that right. Like, no one has to care about you as a person. But there are things that you offer that sometimes people want. Now, like I said, you don't have to give them to them, and it's, wrong of people to just assume or expect that from you. But let's talk more clearly in, like, the lines of a relationship. This is where I think objectification is kind of justified. Because when you're in a relationship, you are making a commitment. And when you make a commitment, you are expecting something. Because that's just the whole thing. You can't have a commitment and not expect anything from someone, because that's just a total contradiction. Let's say, you're with a person that, and what are some things that you want out of a relationship? Because if you don't want anything, then you shouldn't be committed to someone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just ride that shit out, coast to coast, whatever happens, that's fine. But if you want to make a commitment, there's a reason you're doing it. So, you're making a commitment because of what do you want? A guy might want sex. A woman also would like sex. Guy or woman, that's one thing. A guy might want the woman to be hot, okay? And that has nothing to do with her as a person. That has nothing to do with her soul. That has nothing to do with any of that, other than the fact that she looks good. And that matters in the relationship, because you want to get off. You want to enjoy sex. You want sex from that person. You want to enjoy it. So you're going for their looks. Girls go for guys' looks too. Sometimes they were like, this person is good at sex. That's another objectification. You are with this person because they're good at sex. Sometimes you might want money. You want someone to provide for you. You want someone to, like, that's important. You want to feel, have a better life financially. Maybe you want to feel protected. All of these things are things that you want from somebody. And when you make that commitment with that person, those are things that you expect them to give you. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That just means that you're doing things a little bit for a reason. Now, I don't think that that's necessarily the best parts of a relationship. I think that the best parts of a relationship are probably the things that you don't ask for, that you aren't expecting. Maybe something happens and you guys have like a great moment. Like, you find something you enjoy, you laugh together, you build a bond. Now that, I think, is way more important than any objective thing that you can get from a person. I think building a strong bond, and building memories with somebody that make you feel something when you think about them, that's more important. But, that gets shaky. That gets shaky. It really does. Because sometimes you're like, fuck this person. Sometimes they do something you don't fucking like at all. And whereas, like, those feelings of those memories in the past and those feelings that you have and that bond you have definitely can see things through, sometimes people logically have to sit back and they're like, okay, why did I even start to feel attracted to this person? Why am I logically with this person? Is this person doing anything reasonably good for my life besides the fact that I'm emotionally invested in this person, besides the fact that I care for this person? Is this person maybe making my life worse objectively? Are they not giving me sex? Are they are they, not being able to hold up even their end of the bargain financially? Are they not, are they, being unhealthy, not taking care of themselves? Do you have to, like, smell this person and they're like, they, fuck up shit? Do they not clean? Do they not do all this shit? This all kind of is, like I said, these are objective things that you want somebody to do for you. Or, at the very least, not make your job worse. At the very least, you objectively want them to not fuck up your own little thing that you got going on, I guess. When things get shaky and things are, you lose sight of certain things, sometimes it's reasonable to be like, look, we're in a relationship for a reason. What are those reasons? If not, I can care for this person from a distance, or I can, care for them in a different way. But in a relationship, there are things that you want, and those things make you attracted to a person. And if those things are still going strong, it's easy to build up that bond even more. If that bond is really, really strong, it can kind of make those objective things a little bit unimportant, at least until the other person gets their shit together. Maybe. But it's stupid to think that somebody else, will be with you without wants or desires or things like that. Like, it makes people more human because it doesn't make people more human. It is a sign that people are human, okay? Everybody's looking out for their best interests, okay? As, like, we care about people, we do, but nobody's gonna care about you more than yourself, okay? Like, when you go through life, you appreciate your struggle, or, whatever, like, maybe you don't, but you have a struggle, you go through it. I am more to me than my talents, whatever is, like, outside my looks, whatever I can provide for people. To me, I'm more than that. But that doesn't, that's, like, extremely entitled and expecting too much from the universe to think that, like, anybody else could see me more than, what I am objectively. That's not to say that people don't look at me more than but more than from an objective standpoint. There are a lot of people that care about me. I care about a lot of people. But it doesn't have to be that way. And there's no reason I think that I am owed that by just existing. So I guess I think that a big reason why people feel upset about being objectified, especially by like their lovers and things like that, is because or even just in general, is because sometimes deep down you feel like you don't have much to offer objectively, and that can really hurt when you start to realize that that's a big part of why someone would invest their time in you, or, you know, a big reason why, a big factor in you getting possibly what you want. Like if someone's unattractive, they might be like, fuck it, I hate people that objectify people on their looks or whatever, because, you know, it's about what's on the inside, it's about like what matters and all that other stuff. Or someone might be like, you know, fucking, I hate women that only go for guys with money because, you know, maybe they're broke. And they're like, you know, I should be more than that. And to you, you are. But like I said, people want something out of a commitment. And you just gotta face that fact that you do it and they're gonna do it. And it's not evil. It's human nature, and people use other people to make their life better. I mean, if not, then like no one would, you know, there'd be no reason to employ anybody. I mean, it's just, you know, it really is it's part of the deal, you know. And I think that, you know, of course there are people that have things that get offended by objectification. They're like, I'm hot, but that's all anybody cares about, blah, 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 blah. And it's kind of the flip side. It's like, again, you think you're entitled to somebody's emotions. You think you're entitled to deep care for you. Everyone thinks they're entitled to love from someone other than themselves. And that's just crazy to think. Because in my mind, nobody deserves... Like, there's that thing, everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves it. That's not true. That's not true, okay? Like, probably 10% of people actually deserve true love. Like, that... And by that I mean something that matters, that lasts, and that's, you know, pleasant. Like 10% of people really deserve that because, you know, they're good-hearted people. You know, that do see people more than like what they can give. But out of those 10%, maybe only like 4% even get that. So really like 4% of people get like true love, I think, in my opinion. And you're not owed true love or like a good love or whatever. Everybody thinks that they are. So they think I come here and people deserve to see me as I see me. And that's just not gonna happen. On the other end, like, sometimes you know, people can get upset if they aren't being objectified by their partner or by someone. Because that's why, you know, guys like to provide, make money. They like to do things. They feel good when they are giving something to someone. And, you know, girls are, even, you know, they're, girls will be like, am I pretty? Am I this? You know, do you still find me attractive? Like, do you still think I'm hot? Guys will say that too. Like, do you think I'm attractive? Yada, yada, yada. And if they say no, then it hurts your feelings. And deep down, you know, it's kind of because if you feel like you don't have anything objectively to offer someone, then you don't feel like you have the right to want anything from them. Because if you don't want anything from somebody, there's no reason why that should hurt you. If, like, somebody I didn't want anything from was like, dude, you're broke, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you're blah, blah, blah. Or at least they thought that way. Maybe if they said it, like, insultingly, like, I'd be like, but it wouldn't, the whole point is it wouldn't actually hurt my feelings. Like, I wouldn't contemplate it. Because that person, I don't want anything from them. So there's no reason why any of that stuff matters. Like, the fact that I can't give that to that person doesn't matter to me because I don't want anything from them. You know, like, fuck off, dude. Cool. Go find somebody that, you know, has that for you, because I wasn't gonna give it to you even if I, you know, did have it. Because fuck you, dude. You know, so I don't know. I guess to make it, like, short, or I guess to, like, wrap this up, you know, if you're in a commitment and you're expecting something from somebody, expect them to expect something from you, and that's beyond who you are as a person. Because, you know, when we form bonds and strong relationships with people beyond that, which is really what you want, you know, it's because they they appreciate our struggles. They respect, you know, what we've done, who we become, like, what we're going through. And they've been there with us through it. And, you know, we, in return, you know, can, or not, but, you know, we, in return, feel that connection with them. And that's the bigger, more important thing. But that's what you want. That's what matters. But to just be offended by someone looking at you objectively and seeing what you have to offer, you know, get a sense of humor, dude. You know, like, you're not so special that you're free from, you know, being used, I guess. And you shouldn't be mad at someone for wanting that. You shouldn't be upset at yourself that you can't give that to somebody. You should just realize that people will want things from you. And there's no problem with that. Because you don't have to give it to them. I feel like I'm rambling, saying the same thing over and over again. But, like, when I, like, decided to make this video, I'm gonna make some concise points that I thought were important. But, I'm not sure if they're coming out as impactful as I wanted. Who knows? But I think I can edit this in a way where the important parts are there and the unnecessary stuff is just cut out. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Fuck. I don't know. Bipolar dude out. See y'all.